I've got a pretty hot take on this, and I'm happy to go ahead with it. We'll talk about Philly plenty, I'm sure, in the months to come. But in any reasonable situation, if you have 5 years of playoff runs and you don't get past the second round in any of those 5 playoff series, you would go into a rebuild. You would. If you were in a normal situation. The only reason Philly won't do it is because they have Embiid, who's a top 3 player maybe in the NBA, top 5 player in the NBA at the very least, and the fact that they've gone through this whole trust the process thing where they sucked for ages, purposely tanked to try and get high picks. And to try and sell that we're doing that again to the Philly fans would be an absolute kick in the face. So that's why they're not doing it. But you know what? I would. I'd rebuild. I'd tear it down. My question to you is, do you think the Philadelphia 76ers will ever win a championship with Joel Embiid? Yes or no? Gun to your head.
No.
No. Neither do I. I don't think they will either. So if that's the case, why not try and rebuild why Embiid has the most value I think that he will ever have? He's now 28 years of age. He's not necessarily a spring chicken anymore. And with the injury history that guy has, did you see Game 6 and the amount of times he fell on the floor? It was double digits, the amount of times he hit the floor. Are you telling me that you think that guy is going to age into his mid-30s and still be a prime MVP caliber player? Joel Embiid might only have 3-4 years left at the top. Now, if you think you can win a chip in that time, good luck to you. I don't think you can. So why not go all out? Why not either let Harden walk or, if he does opt in, trade him for anything you can get? Why don't you trade Embiid while you've got the highest value? And I'm saying, I want people to know, I'm saying this from a Philly perspective. I don't want to, because I'm going to give you an example of a trade here, and I don't want people to think, oh, this guy's a Golden State Warriors fan. This is why he's saying this. I'm actually saying this from a Philly perspective. Why, if the Warriors weren't to win the championship and they were desperate, why wouldn't you go to the Warriors and say, give us Wiggins' contract, Jordan Poole, who I personally think is going to be an all-star in the next couple of years, Kuminga, Wiseman, and 3 to 4 picks, 2 of which are in 5-6 years' time when you're talking about Curry being 40, Clay and Draymond being 38, and Embiid himself being 35. They could be really high picks. The Warriors would have no future left outside of those guys if they were to do this trade. Why wouldn't, I think Golden State would do that. I think Golden State would be desperate enough if they don't win the championship this season to do that. And that's a pretty good young core, along with Tyrese Maxey, to build around. Whatever you get for Harden, I would try and use the first half of next season to try and recoup some trade value for Tobias Harris as kind of the second guy on your team. Maybe at the mid-season trade, at the trade deadline, potentially he is like the Jeremy Grant of this season, where some team is willing to give up a first-round pick for Tobias Harris as like the 3rd or 4th guy on a championship team because they think they're in the window. Maybe you get a late first-round pick for him. And then you're restarting with Maxey and Poole as your backcourt. I think that's super exciting. There's not much defense there, but I like it. 2 of the best young guards in the league. Kuminga, Wiseman, Wiggins is on expiry next season, so you don't have to worry about his contract moving forward. And then you just get as many picks as you can. And it's basically the second version of trust the process. Because you and I have both agreed that they're not winning a championship with Joel Embiid. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, look, I can't see a scenario in the world where Embiid gets traded. There'll be a revolt, I reckon, in the streets.